Oh, hello, and welcome to Hulu's Only Murders in the Building official podcast. I am your host, Michael Cyril Creighton. I play your favorite trio's fourth wheel, hardcore stan and impromptu backup dancer of global pop sensation The, Howard Morris. We're dissecting episodes, sharing behind-the-scenes stories, and playing games with some of the amazing actors, writers, and crew from Season 5 of Only Murders in the Building. Now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. Today's show is all about Episode 6, Flatbush. We will talk with showrunner and co-creator John Hoffman about Oliver's backstory. We'll catch up with actress Beanie Feldstein to talk about Thee's shoe-flinging rivalry with Mabel. And we will meet someone who knows a lot more than everybody's lunch orders, production assistant and official Only Murders mascot, Bernardo the PA. But first, a quick recap of Episode 6. So if you haven't watched, stop, come back, I will be here.
I'm here for a finger.
When Detective Williams comes to collect the severed finger, it's gone. But Thee may have seen the intruder. Loretta and Oliver investigate Rainey and learn that she's innocent. Rainey shares Lester's final text and gives them his bird whistle. With the help of Howard and Robot Lester, Charles, Mabel, Thee, and Williams review surveillance footage, but it's been altered. The trio and Williams find another glitch in the courtyard footage. The logo in the footage matches Charles's dating app. Has Charles been chatting with the killer?
So embarrassing, caught listening to your own song, right?
Girl, this is you. This is a bop.
Thank you.
The more we get to know her, the more we love her, so we had to have her back. Joining us for a second time is Beanie Feldstein, who plays pop icon Thee.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me back.
So, a lot's happened with Thee since last time we saw her. Thee, by the way, is the hardest name to, I said they, everything.
Tay, I've gotten it all. I find it quite easy because my brother-in-law is Theo, but my wife has called him Thee his whole life. So I was like, Thee? I have a Thee, but I'm like the only person in the world that has a Thee in their life. So Thee felt very natural to me.
Oh, well, that's
She was
good.
meant to be mine, you know?
Yeah, she was meant to be yours.
But she is, the more we know her, the crazier she gets.
I love her. Let's talk about Thee's relationship with Mabel, where it's at now.
Mabel is still really frustrated, and their tension is high, for sure.
Yeah, I would say.
Thee is getting more and more insufferable as we see her more, and Mabel is, reacting to that very normally, which is just that, like, why is this person from my past here?
What time were you creeping around?
With Seth Rogen? Around 2:30. She's really intolerable and really loves herself so much and is constantly listening to her own number one song.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about Thee is, like, she can say really belittling things, but with such a sweet tone.
Yes.
Like, she'll just put Mabel down again and again of like, oh, you. And it's like she's being so rude.
Yes.
But the pink and the bows, it kind of like clouds, the insanity.
Right.
I understand where Mabel's coming from. She's like, what is going on here? Like, you used to be this girl that I knew that was like my best friend, and now you're like a bubblegum princess pop star. Like, what is going on here, and why are you here?
Yeah, how you've changed.
How you've changed.
And it all sort of comes to a head in this episode, right?
Boy, does it.
It does. There's this giant fight scene between you and Mabel. I want to hear about that because there's shoes flying, there's screaming.
I'm a famous pop star now who lives above you at the Arconia, so I have about 1 billion other free shoes with very spiky heels.
God, what is your problem? Please stop it. I'm trying to apologize and you're acting like a baby.
As heightened and hysterical as it is, it's also a really relatable scene of like two people, in this case, two young women, that there's just been a huge misunderstanding and a lack of communication. And it's resulted in their friendship ending, however many years ago it was, 8 years, 10 years. And it's actually really beautiful that they were able to like come back together. But it was maybe my favorite scene to film because it was such a long scene and we could really delve into it. And also we had like Adam from props basically being my arm, like throwing all the shoes.
Amazing.
And we were like navigating, okay, like first we're gonna do the fuzzy shoe and then the pink shoe and then the sparkly shoe, and like hysterical. And they really come to realize that like Thee has been thinking about Mabel since they stopped talking and is actually like wants to be like Mabel and wish that you or me Mabel thinks that Thea is saying to her, like, you wish that you were me.
Yeah.
And it's revealed in this scene that Thea is like, I always wanted to be you.
I never wished I was you.
I know that. Because I wished I was you.
It's this big revelation of like, you're not an asshole and you actually have feelings.
Yeah. I do want to talk about this wonderful balance that's fun to play as an actor, which I love to do with Howard.
Yeah.
Dancing on that line of annoying and vulnerable.
Totally.
Sort of, it's really satisfying.
We walk that tightrope, honey, don't we?
Yeah, like a sort of like a likable but unlikable character.
Totally.
How do you make the unlikable qualities likable and things like that?
Totally.
So I just want to talk to you about how you approach it, because I do see that Howard and Thea are kindred spirits, if you will.
I know. I have this whole dream for like Howard to become Thea's manager.
Yes, travel the world with her.
But I feel like, for me, I think that it's always about relationships and like it's always about the other person in the scene as much as you, even saying that playing such a self-centered character. And I think that she's trying to get Mabel's attention ultimately, and she really misses her, and that she's, you know, like landed in the Arconia obviously to like, because she misses her, you know, and because she wants to be back in that like sunny and cloudy world that they built together, and it's actually really sweet.
Yeah.
But on top of it is like bubblegum mayhem, you know, kind of I'm gonna play my song at all times. And it's like it's actually just like a little girl like desperate for her friend's attention.
Did you know when you got the role that Thea was going to have sort of a redemption arc, or was it just sort of what did you know going in?
Okay, so when I got the call about Only Murders, I had no idea that like behind the scenes my team was like desperately trying to make this happen.
Yeah.
And so I was completely blindsided. So I was in Liverpool, where my wife is from, in her cousin's house, and I see like, you know, the fancy people calling, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And I go in the other room, and I'm like, Only Murders in the bed? Like, are you kidding me? And all they said to me was, you're gonna be Mabel's childhood friend turned nemesis, who's a pop star. And I was like, come again? That sounds like the juiciest, most heavenly, you know, description of anything I've ever heard. And then I went back into the room where my wife was with her cousins, and I'm like looking across the room from her, and she was like, mouths to me like, what was it? And like everyone's talking, no one's looking at us, and it was like a real like, you know, marriage moment. And I was like, Only Murders. And she was like, and it was all completely silent, and no one knew it had happened. And then when we finally got upstairs, she was like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Because she's such a fan of the show. So that was all I knew, was just like that sentence. And then I was like, yes, literally my dream.
Please.
And then I had a meeting with John, and he walked me through it a little bit more. And he told me about the big fight scene that we see in episode 6, and just that like, you know, I think every season Mabel has a real like emotional journey. They all do. Yeah. And so to be such a huge part of Mabel's storyline this season was like such an honor, and for it to be a friendship story.
That is nice to see Mabel have a friendship story and not a romance gone awry or anything like that. I think it's nice to see, because she is like, her only friends that we see are those two old guys.
Which Thea is not very nice about in moments.
Yeah, not very nice.
But it's because she's jealous.
Yes.
But it's really nice, and I think the dynamic between the two of them is so fun and
it's
so
fun.
Juicy and really delicious. And I love Selena, and it was just such a joy and so easy to play. Yeah. It was so much more fun once they're friends, because we were just able to be like, you know, just like kiki. But it was such an honor for me to be on the show in general, but then to be such a huge part of Mabel's kind of like, you know, identity, like continuing to find her identity and like who she was, and navigating like her past and present at the same time. It was really fun.
It was great. We're so lucky to have you. You really made the most and more than the most with this part.
I have to say,
yes,
our scene where we meet was one of my absolute favorites to film.
Oh, that's cute. You're thinking about me.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Glamorous. Okay. Oh my God. Stop it.
I love that scene.
It was scripted that I was supposed to cut you off from your dancing, and I kind of refused to do that. Watching you dance to the song, it was so funny.
It was so fun.
seeing your genius and getting to like actually be in scenes with you finally, I was just like,
that was a fun day. That was a really fun day. And what I love is like Howard is his alliance shifts so fast. He's not having Oliver and Mabel in this moment, and he only has eyes for Thea, and he's gonna dance himself.
Oh my God.
I wish you could see the outtakes.
I mean, I was there. They're all up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to talk about the song.
Okay.
So catchy.
So catchy.
Who wrote the song?
David Archuleta wrote the song.
American Idol's David Archuleta?
Idol's David Archuleta and his music partners. So apparently John Hoffman, our showrunner and creator, and David Archuleta are really good friends.
I do know this. I'm pretending like I didn't know this, but I did meet David Archuleta once. He's very lovely.
I mean, he's so talented.
Yeah.
I have still yet to meet him, but I am not a pop singer, Michael. I do not come from like a pop singing background, so it was such new territory for me. They wrote such an incredibly catchy song.
It's so catchy.
The writers put it in
How long did it take you to record it?
a long time, like 4.5, 5 hours.
Holy cow.
I was in that booth being Thea, you know? Yeah, the music producer of the song also did the whole musical season, did all of season 3.
I know him. He's a taskmaster, right?
He's such
ingenious.
a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that because, again, like, pop is not my genre. So I was like, I'm following you into the light and, like, you're going to make this great. A lot of beep bop booping around on the computer that I don't understand. Yeah, I'm like, auto-tune me, baby.
Yep, do that.
And now we have these Wandify hit.
I can't wait to download it. No. Now, Beanie Feldstein has a pretty amazing sense of style.
Thank you.
I follow you. I like the outfits of the day.
Thank you, honey. My chubby girl outfits of the day.
But these looks are outrageous.
Outrageous.
How collaborative was it with Dana and Jameson, our head of our hair department, and Ariel, the head of our makeup department? How collaborative was it finding Thea's look, and how do you feel about Thea's looks?
Thea's look was heaven for me. Like, the whole outside in thing is, I mean, on this job, it was like, I just put the costume and like the long hair on, and I was like, oh, I'm already flipping it. Like, there she is. She's back. Because I like had to go film something between a few of my episodes. And so when I came back, I was like, do I remember what Thea is? And then I put the hair on and I was like, there she is, honey, she's back. It's so funny going into the wardrobe like space, because it's like your wardrobe is like all these fun knits and like patterns and stuff, and then, you know, the trio, it's like pretty neutral except for, you know, Oliver has his fun patterns, and then there's the Thea rack, and it's like it's like blinding. You can see it coming from like truly 5 miles away, just neon magenta.
Yeah.
But it was so fun, like truly playful and joyful, and Dana is such a genius the way she uses clothes on this show. Like, there's a whole level of comedy and specificity that she is bringing to the show that I've noticed as a fan from day one. Like, the level of specificity with everyone's wardrobe is so unbelievably impressive. And then to be a part of building a character with her was so fun. Yeah. And I feel like Thea evolved too, like as the season went on. We kind of, like, she comes in like the sweatpants and the big bows, and then we kind of like did a little bit more of like a skirt look and sweaters, and we kind of started to play, and then stuff happens later.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But my nails in the 6th episode were all like clouds, which was a nod to the sunny and cloudy little Easter egg.
It's so amazing. Well, I would like to play another game with you. We played one last time. You won. In this episode, while Thea is helping the trio with a very important clue, Loretta and Oliver visit the place in Flatbush where Oliver's love of theater was first born. They both get to perform lines on stage. Now, I know you have a deep love of theater as well. So for this game, we're going to just call it Line. I'm going to give you a line from a famous musical or play, and we're going to see if you recognize it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Every game makes me nervous.
This one I think you might kill, but we'll see.
I'm like, oy gavolt, what is about to happen? Okay.
Sometimes people leave you halfway through the woods.
Ooh, tough one. That would be Into the Woods by Steve.
Yep, that's right. There's like so many more lines. I'm like, we're going to get these in the first line. Okay. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I got to give.
Well, she sounds like a dame.
Yep.
There's like a dame energy coming from you, which I always love.
It's always there. I've been trying to beat it out of me, but it's not going to work. Yep. She's a dame, honey.
Okay, Dame energy. So like a woman. Is this Chicago?
Yeah.
Mama Morton? Okay,
Yeah,
thank
okay,
you.
great.
Oh, they say that. Okay,
this
yeah, it's
card's-
coming back.
This one, money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow.
I'm gonna start crying. This is Hello Dolly.
Yes, it is, which I saw you in.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. It was like the best year of my life.
It was great.
It was such a special show. And
Yeah.
that's such an important line at the
Yeah.
end.
That's what everyone does. Blames the way it is on the way it was, on the way it never ever was.
Charlie. Oh, it's Marilee.
Yes, yes, what you're doing, right?
I love it.
I like my hair. No, really, it is pleasant to the touch. I toss my hair a bit too much.
That would be spelling bee.
Yes, spelling
See
bee.
it in my head.
Well, you won that game too. There's no prize other than high five.
Okay. That actually was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. I felt your Mama Morton energy, though.
I was really giving you the Mama Morton energy. I felt like that was going to be easy, but
I'm going to kind of maybe need to see more of that.
yeah. Oh, I'd play her so well. Well, Beanie, it was a pleasure to have you here again.
You're an angel.
I think we might see Thea again in the future.
Hope so.
And maybe see you soon.
Adore you.
Adore you too.
Oliver, Only Murders in the Building, Season 5.
We know him, we appreciate him, we always want his perspective on things. He's the name on everybody's lips. John Hoffman. Hi, John Hoffman. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. I'm very good. I'm excited to be here.
Flatbush.
Aw, my mother was from Flatbush.
Really?
Yeah. My mother was from Flatbush. My father was from Bay Ridge.
Okay.
And so that part of Brooklyn was deep in my soul.
Yeah. And now this episode we learned Oliver's backstory, that he's from Brooklyn, right?
Kind of handed that right off to Oliver.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was, I knew Brooklyn really well. I was born in Brooklyn, in Flatbush, and it was intriguing to me because we'd never really looked at Oliver's youth in a deep dive way, outside of, I think it was season 2 where we talked about, him in his first days in New York. And
Yeah.
so it was time to sort of go more early on in what would have formed him into becoming the man he is today.
Did you always know he would be a Brooklynite?
No. And I thought, there's a lot of elements to the story that I thought we really talked a lot about it in the room, and imagined what made Oliver. I mean, he's so distinctive and he's so specific, and yet most of us who have been in the arts are driven through some bit of dysfunction.
I don't know. Not me. Not me.
So, I mean, no, you're clean as a whistle. Yeah. But no, everything's been an easy ride for you.
Easy breezy.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, but I think that's the thing that marks, I don't know, a lot of times it can be a thing that marks what drives people to tell stories and sort of have envisioning, people who envision a life outside of the difficult thing they're in.
Yeah, and people who have an armor, who put up a sort of personality or a persona that's a guard, sort of
Exactly.
It's his armor.
Yeah.
Oliver has a lot of armor, I would say, right?
Yeah, he loves life. He's a bon vivant. He imagines himself grander than he is. So all of that ties back to a very childlike wonder that he's got. Marty Short has as well. But so all of that felt very key to going back as early as we're going back into Oliver's backstory in Flatbush.
End of episode 5, Oliver has this really quiet moment during the chaos of the lobby meeting where everyone revolts and wants to throw Lester off the roof, does throw Lester off the roof. Actually, yes. We see for the first time that he's a little uneasy in the building, in his home. And now in this episode, he makes the decision he says he's considering selling his apartment. What brought about this change in Oliver? What do you think? Where do you think he's going with this?
It all kind of started, I think, with what's happened in his life, and I think this notion of getting married to Loretta at the end of the previous season, in a whirlwind way, while a lot was going on, impulsive, full of life, full of great expression between the two of these characters that they're just absolutely drawn to each other. He was so deeply in love. And then she's off to New Zealand. Yeah. So the incorporating of, I'm married now, but wait a minute, where is she? What's going on? Mm-hmm. And what does home mean? Is at the center of this episode. Yeah. As Loretta's narrating. Right. And we learn very quickly what's going on with Loretta's home in New York. So the whole feeling of what do I have? What are my feelings about what this place is? There's been a few murders in this building too. Yeah, so quite a few. I mean, there's a lot of feelings about it, and you're bringing a new wife into it, and it starts to sort of see and you know, Oliver's whole journey this year has been all about his narcissism and trying to understand what a generous person might do. And so all of that feeds into this decision-making process he's going through about his apartment and trying to sort of say, the most important person in my life is now my wife. And not these two podcasters, potentially, these friends of mine, these dear friends. And that's a real struggle.
Those are Oliver's big questions for the season. What do I want? Where do I want to be? What do I have? And, you know, the one thing he definitely has now is love, which is really exciting and a big change for him. Yeah. I get it in a way because the building's a little different right now. We got this robot doorman, sort of the personality of Lester is gone. The care of a human opening our doors every day is gone. The downstairs staff is clashing with the upstairs residents in sort of almost a violent way. Very. Howard has turned his back on the trio at this point. He is not having them. He's drunk with power. He is loving having this robot. He is not getting what he needs from them, so he's going to focus on Lester. There's a lot of changes. It's very different.
I think as you're saying it too, I'm realizing that Howard with this robot, and most likely what's off screen is the equivalent of like, you know, the sort of next door apps they have where the information that's within Lester robot having been downloaded by Lester's ledger and Lester's notes has informed your feelings about everybody in the building as well, just sort of off screen too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that little robot comes through because he shows Detective Williams some footage the night that he took mushrooms and the finger was stolen. Mm-hmm. Up until this point, Rainey was under the impression that Lester's death was an accident. Now she knows the truth. Do you think she's going to become more involved in the investigation or not?
Oh, Rainey's learned something very big by the end of the episode, and it's been a real journey, you know. I think one of the great opportunities just for myself as a writer and for, you know, just a fan for life is anytime you have Meryl Streep sitting at the center of an episode, you want to step it up and give them something fresh to do or something new to do that they haven't done before. And God knows, I can't believe we keep saying Meryl Streep keeps coming back into the seasons of the show because, and each time you want to give her something new to do, and Diane Wiest, who plays Rainey, and those are two of my favorite actors in the history of the world. Yeah. So putting them in a scene together, talking about Tosca and talking about mournful things, and then flipping that scene and giving Meryl Streep another accent to do.
Yes.
Was, you know, and a great backstory and a great scene on a theater stage with Oliver. But Rainey factors into the mystery story in a way that feels really key going forward for sure. Yeah. Whereas, you know, at the end of episode 5, it began to look like, oh my God, were these two men who were trying to figure out what the actual connection is throughout the whole season. Yeah. Did their wives have something to do with their murders? Which it felt intriguing because both of them have mysteries around them, and we're sorting that out. But now we understand, Rainey understands for the first time, the trio believes her husband was murdered. So, yes, that will come back around. Yeah. And I would also say just the other thing, too, regarding the footage that Beanie sees on Beanie.
It's easier to say Beanie than Thee, because it's always like you want to say the.
I know. I just want to say Beanie Feldstein, Beanie Feldstein, Beanie Feldstein. But I would say the only thing to mention about that is that the footage that Thee finds and the footage that Howard gives the trio at the end of the episode, at the end of episode 6, the found footage from the courtyard, the night that Lester died, and it shows Lester falling back alone in that water. Now, all of a sudden, it's a story where, again, the classic tropes of murder mystery are don't believe the thing you see at first.
Right.
Don't believe the thing you hear at first sometimes.
Right.
So now we're taking that technologically.
John Hoffman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it.
You're
I'm a very
welcome.
lucky guy.
And now, MCC on HFM. Michael Cyril Creighton on Howard Francis Morris. In this episode, Howard's relationship with Lester the robot has definitely intensified. And I gotta say, it's really nice that we finally have a juicy will they, won't they storyline in Only Murders in the Building. You got that, babe?
Gotcha, Daddy.
And that was Michael Cyril Creighton on Howard Francis Morris. Today, we're talking to someone very special. One of our first team production assistants, the glue that keeps the whole thing running, Bernardo, the PA.
Hey, Michael, how's it going?
Hey, Bernardo. First, I have 2 questions for you. 1, can you get me a seltzer?
Yeah, actually, I've got one right here.
No. And 2, what is your last name?
Yeah, so I prefer to go by Bernardo the PA, but the given family name is Shortino.
Okay.
Someone once asked me if I was related to Martin Short because of Shortino, and I was like, yeah, they lengthened it at Ellis Island, so that's why it's Shortino now.
What's so great is that we have 1,000 questions for you.
Sure.
You really are the unofficial mascot of the show. What I love is how much Marty loves you.
Yeah.
Steve likes you too, but Marty loves you. How did that happen?
So I think the trick of it is that he learned my name first before anyone else. And he's like, okay, well, I've got one name, and that's going to be the person that I know on set.
Yeah.
And I also help him find the bathroom.
It is hard to find.
First of all, our sets are mazes.
Yeah.
They're constantly changing things and rebuilding and unbuilding sets. But also, Marty has one of the worst senses of direction of any person I've met.
No, every time we come off a set, he goes, "Where am I?"
Yeah, I'm very curious how he gets around his own apartment without me being there.
Are you able to, so he screams your name when he needs you. Are you able to do an impression of Marty saying your name?
Bernardo.
It's perfect. That's exactly what it sounds like, except louder.
Yeah. Every crew member on set knows my name because of Marty calling my name. There are so many people whose names I don't know, but they know mine because of him. One anecdote I have related to that is that Chris Koch, one of our directors.
Oh, the best.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I believe it was season 2. I hadn't met him yet. He'd been on set, but I hadn't met him. But he knew my name because of Marty, and he had Marty record himself yodeling my name to set as his ringtone. So Chris Koch, a man I had not met, had my name as his ringtone.
That's amazing.
And seasons later, he brought his children to set to visit, and I met them, and they said, "Oh, you're our dad's ringtone. We know you." So I had such an effect on this man's life without having any idea really who he was.
That's incredible. And I know it's like we're focusing on Marty, but you're basically our babysitter. You get us from place to place. You get us our seltzers. You get us anything we need. So that's basically what a first team PA is, correct?
Yeah, I always liken it to being a camp counselor whose campers make more money than you do. I'm basically one of the first people there in the morning to make sure that the actors have to do as little thinking as possible so that they can focus on the important stuff, the scenes and their motivation and whatnot. They don't have to worry about when do I have to be in hair and makeup and when do I have to be on set and where's my green room. So I'm there to assist production, to make things go as smoothly as possible and to make the actors as happy as possible while they're there.
You had a pretty important role this season. You were basically the stand-in for Lester the robot.
Yeah.
You and I have worked together quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely.
In the past, you were the stand-in for Gravy the dog, Sprinkle the pig.
I'm lucky that you've had as many companions as you've had because I get to work with you a lot because of that.
Exactly. How do you feel being a stand-in? And does it make you understand the plight of the actor a little bit better?
Yeah, if anything, I have less respect for the actors now because of how I've been treated as the robot. But no, it was really fun to be the robot. Last season when I was Gravy and we did the scene where Gravy sniffs Charles's crotch, that was a lot of fun for me to stand in for Gravy for that.
Yeah.
But being Lester, just getting to do the monotonous voice really felt like the acting challenge that I could stand up to the plate.
It was very convincing. Did you stand like you did when you were just doing the Lester scenes with me?
Yeah, so I would crouch slightly because he's a little shorter than me, and I would hold my hands out, and I realized he doesn't hold his arms out, but I would do it.
It takes so much time to get him to lift an arm like this.
Yeah. I'm worried that I set too high a standard that the actual robot couldn't live up to. And I had spent all season playing this robot going, you cannot come into this room, spill in the lobby.
It's like being with him again.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry if that gave you PTSD or anything.
Move your arm, Bernardo.
I think episode 6 is the one where you first refer to the robot as daddy, so or the robot calls you daddy. There's a daddy exchange.
Yes, this is where it gets really creepy with the robot.
This is where and Davine is like Davine's like, I've dealt with some crazy people as a cop, but this is taking it a step further.
I ain't never seen no like this. I'm shook.
As someone who is so close to the production of Only Murders in the Building, has it changed how you watch the show?
It has definitely, at the very least, changed how I watch it with my parents, because they'll pause every scene and go, where were you standing in this scene? Where were you standing during that happening? Were you behind that potted plant? But I've always, because I've been here since day one, I've never truly been able to engage with the mystery. And I know it's something you and I do on set, where you prefer going into a season to not know who the killer is. So it's nice that we get to be like, all right, we're filming these scenes today. Does that affect who you think the murderer is this season?
Yeah. So, I love your theories.
Yeah.
You're always wrong.
Yeah, I'm consistent, at least.
Consistent.
So I've always appreciated that that's something we're able to talk about, because I'm never able to engage as a viewer of like, oh, I wonder who the killer is going to be this season.
Do you have a favorite moment from this season on set?
There was a moment where I was standing with Marty and Meryl, and I got to say, Meryl, lovely, nice to finally have some star presence on the show. And we were doing one of the scenes. It's the two of them walking into the stage when they're, discovering Marty's childhood theater. And so I'm there waiting to cue them for action. And this woman walks up to me and goes, she looks at Martin Short, she looks him up and down and goes, what's his name? I'm like, oh, that's Martin Short. And she goes, yeah, I've heard of him. Are there any other famous people on set today? And Meryl Streep is standing right next to him. And I'm like, no, it's just Marty today, sorry. And she's like, oh, well, all right. And she just walks away. I was like, well, I guess her sequin trench coat really works as a disguise.
That's amazing.
I'll just say that Meryl is such a wonderful actress, and I love every time we're filming with her where Marty hasn't realized that she's acting yet, where he'll think she's just talking to him. He's like, oh, wait, you're in character. I'm sorry. Let me get into character.
Yeah. What is it like to be the first person that we all see in the morning? Like, you're used to Marty, Selena, Steve, me, Jackie, you've known for such a long time. She's not a morning person, as we know.
She's not a most times of day person, I'd argue.
But she's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I love her so much.
Yeah. What's it like to just meet all of these amazing stars and just have to, guide them into the building, get them their breakfast?
Every time I'm meeting a new person, I'm always worried this is going to be the person who isn't a delight to handle, because we've been so lucky on this show, and I've worked on jobs where people weren't pleasant, or that actors didn't get along, or that sort of thing. And every single person on this job, from season 1 through season 5, from day player to Hollywood A-lister, has been so lovely to work with. I remember Renee this season.
Yeah. Zellweger?
Zellweger, sorry. Renee Zellweger.
Please use her full names.
Well, I'm on first name. Maybe you're not on first name basis with her, but her and I have a rapport. She knew crew members' names that I didn't know. She was on such a good relationship. We would wrap at the end of the day, and she'd be like, okay, hold on, I just have to say goodbye to every single background actor, and then I can go home. So just pleasant people taking it one step beyond from that. Yeah. Christoph Waltz is on this season. Yes. And I didn't know what to expect from, there's actors who come in and they're exactly what you expect them to be. But I was like, when Christoph Waltz is coming onto our television comedy, what's that going to be like? And he is so funny. He is so subtly funny. Yeah. And there was a day where Selena she bought a bunch of corn dogs for the cast and crew, that she was going around with bags of corn dogs, handing them out like the Easter Bunny. And Christoph comes up to me and he goes, have you ever heard of this corned dog? It's like, Yeah, it's like a hot dog on a stick with cornbread around it. And he's like, yeah, I saw one. It looked like if you ate it, you would die immediately. It's like, yeah, you're not far off.
I was there for the corn dog day. I did eat one. I didn't die immediately.
No, yeah, we both lived to tell the tale.
Yes, we lived. I believe that Marty Short was instrumental in your proposal to your wife.
Yes.
Can you tell me that story?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that old chestnut I got to dust off. Season 1, we're about a month into production. Early December. Marty goes, so, Bernardo, what are you doing for Christmas? Have you bought anything for your girlfriend yet? I'm like, well, Marty, usually we get each other Broadway tickets, but again, season 1, pretty deep into COVID, so Broadway's not really open right now, so I haven't decided what I'm going to do. And he goes, you know what? Here's what you do. You go to your parchment guy. I'm like, well, sure, of course, my parchment guy. And have him write out a nice scroll for you that says, when Broadway is back open, Martin Short is going to get the two of you backstage tickets to a Broadway show of your choice and a reservation to a lovely Italian restaurant. And I'm like, my God, Marty, what have I done? We're a month in. I've known you for 3 weeks. What have I done to deserve this? And he goes, you helped me find the bathroom. It's the least I can do. Which, at the time, I thought he was joking, but now I know that is truly Broadway ticket worthy for Martin Short.
He needs you.
And I was like, I mean, that's amazing, but how am I going to top that when I eventually propose to her? And he's like, so just propose then. It'll be great. And I can hire an actress to sit next to you at the restaurant in case your girlfriend says no. She can jump up and say, I'll marry you, Bernardo. So flash forward season 2 now. He's like, Broadway's finally opening up. I want to get you those tickets. So he gets us tickets for Moulin Rouge, and we plan it for our anniversary, so she doesn't fully expect what's going on.
Right.
We get to my apartment. I've fully decorated it with sticky notes that say, love notes and all those things, because we work 14, 15-hour days. Usually we communicate through sticky notes in the morning. That's how the actual proposal happened, and she said yes. And then I checked my phone, and Moulin Rouge is closed for the weekend for COVID. COVID strikes again.
Yeah.
So I text Marty and go, hey, good news and bad news. She said yes, but Moulin Rouge is off for the night. And he immediately calls me and goes, Bernardo, I'm backstage with Steve Martin. And I hear Steve in the background. Oh, who are you on the phone with? It's Bernardo. Oh, what was the verdict? She said yes, so clearly she's an idiot. And so they're riffing on my relationship to begin with. And he goes, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you my credit card information. Pick a Broadway show that you want to see and go see it tonight. And I'm like, Marty, I appreciate that you trust me or that you don't know better. Don't send anyone your credit card information. We'll just go to the restaurant. Nothing can ruin this night. So we go out, and about an hour into the meal, he calls me again, and he goes, can you be at Music Man in a half hour? I called Jane Howdyshell, Bunny. She's in Music Man. She can get you third row tickets. And I'm like, I guess we can,
Yeah, I guess we can make it.
Yeah, if you really need us to.
Yeah.
Don't want to embarrass Jane.
Yeah.
So we ended up seeing Music Man, and then the next day he calls me one more time and goes, I forgot to tell the restaurant they weren't supposed to charge you, so I called them and canceled the charge that they put on your credit card. And I'm like, man, I would have ordered way more expensive wine if you had told me that in advance.
He is a good guy, Martin Short.
Yeah, so...
Has he kicked you?
Yeah, but it's it balances out.
Lower than their season 14.
That's a great story. Did you? What's the greatest lesson you learned from Martin Short on set?
The greatest lesson I have learned from Martin Short is if you're successful enough, you don't have to be good at directions, because there's somebody who will tell you this is where set is and this is where the green room is.
That's true.
Yeah.
My biggest lesson I learned from him is, Michael, you don't have to eat the props during rehearsal.
The other day, Marty comes up to me, he's like, I never should have said yes to this dip bit in season 1, because the amount of dips I've had to eat on camera over 5 seasons. He's like, I don't even like hummus that much, but I keep having to eat it.
There's so much hummus on the set.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about with you. You wrote a spec script for this show, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I wrote it at the end of last season. So it was something I worked, it was, 16-hour days, and I would go home and write for 2 hours because I'm insane.
Yeah.
But it was a spec script featuring Howard, Uma, and Vince Fish, where a murder happens adjacent to the building, and the trio are like, well, we can't solve that. That's not what we do on the show. So Uma, Howard, and Vince go and solve it themselves and are sort of a knockoff of our Only Murders in the Building. And I gave it to Steve and Marty, and they were like, Bernardo, you genius, you've written the spinoff. So that was very high praise from them.
Yeah, it's really good. You're a very good writer.
Thank you so much. We were filming a scene with you and Jackie Hoffman, and I was like, this never would have happened in my script.
You know what I love too about your relationship with the cast, but specifically with Steve and Marty? There is no better feeling when Marty is laughing and finds something funny. If he really finds it funny, he'll walk over to Steve and be like, Bernardo just said blah, blah, blah.
My God.
And I've seen him do it so many times with you. He's done it for me a few times where I'll say something funny and he'll walk over to Steve and tell him what I said. But it happens for you more often than not.
It's the greatest feeling in the world is when a joke is worth repeating.
Yeah. It has been such a joy talking to you. You want to play a game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now it's time for a game called Dead Giveaway. I have 10 items that I'm going to describe that we see in this episode. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and we're going to see if you can guess as many as possible.
Sure.
And if you do win this, you get tickets to a Broadway play.
Oh my God, I'll have to get married again.
But it's going to get canceled.
Yeah.
Okay, 60 seconds on the clock. Okay, this is a blank guard.
Blank guard.
They're social. Oh, you're bad at this game. Social
security.
Yes.
A security guard.
And then I find security
footage.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It took a while.
I'm not getting those tickets.
No, we went to see a play in the
Bushwick.
We went to see a play in the space that plays happen.
A stage theater.
Yep. Meryl in season 3 does this at the front of the stage.
Audition?
Yeah, it's a speech that's a...
Monologue?
Okay, this is what Thea and Mabel are, Cloudy and...
Sunny?
This is not Sunny, but...
Rainy?
No, it's what you just said.
Sunny?
No, the other one.
Cloudy?
You're ruining this for me. This is when you go into an apartment and you're maybe going to buy it.
Buyer.
No, it's like... oh, that was bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
We did really bad. Can you get me a seltzer?
Yeah, that's something I'm capable of.
What flavor?
Black cherry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Bernardo, I'm so glad you took time out of your busy schedule to be here with me. It's so nice to get to know you better and learn your last name.
Sure. I just want to say it's fun that you didn't know my last name because on a set, people are really identified by what they do. So, like, I'm Bernardo the PA. We've got Ariel makeup. We've got Martin Short. So people are recognized by what they're best known for. So it's honestly an honor to be, included in this crazy world for 5 seasons now. So Thanks so much for having me, and thanks for being such a big part of the show.
You're the best. We couldn't do it without you, truly. So thanks for being here, and till next time.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't already, subscribe and follow us wherever you're listening or watching from. Leave us a rating or a little review. Get in those comments. Talk about who you think the killer is. Join us next week when we talk to some new faces. Husband and wife acting duo Dylan and Becky Ann Baker. Prime suspect Christoph Waltz. Production designer Patrick Howe. And the hilarious Keegan-Michael Key. See you next week. Until then, don't get murdered, okay? I'm waiting for you. Watch and listen to the Only Murders in the Building official podcast, available on Hulu and wherever you get your podcasts. And don't miss Only Murders in the Building, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.